What is going on? What is going on, good people? It is your guy, Phillip, man. Yeah, we here. We are here, man. We are here. I'm super, super excited to be here with you all on today. Just piloting something brand new. This is called the Runway, right? Where you can take off and land in your purpose. Why we're doing this? Because there are some of us out here who literally have felt like we've been flying around. We're in the air. You're asking yourself, when are we going to land? When are we going to do this? When am I going to get to that place? And honestly, there's a reason that you've been in the air. There's a reason that you've been flying around. Literally, air traffic control has been watching you and watching your descent and watching your flight. And they have literally cleared you for landing. So here with the Runway, we're going to provide a safe place for you to land so that you can land inside of your purpose. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Phillip, and I help people just like you, just like you, really get to the place where they can become the solutions that their customers absolutely love. And that's what we do here on the Runway. So with that being said, I'm just going to jump in today, man. Today is just a pilot. If you're feeling this, if you're feeling what I'm saying, feel free. I will be trying my best to monitor the comments box. I'm going to try. It's hard to do that and do what I'm doing here, but I'm going to try my best to monitor this thing. Like I said, today is a pilot, so we're going to see how this thing runs and how it rolls. So with that being said, top 5 problems that entrepreneurs, specifically new entrepreneurs, have. Let me just give you the 5 things first, right? I'm going to give you the 5 things that they have, the 5 problems that they have, and then I'll break them down. Ultimately, by the end of this session today, I'm going to give you not only the 5 problems that new entrepreneurs have, but I'm going to help you to create a strategy, right? I'm going to help you create a strategy. Why is it important that you have a strategy? It's important because there are so many people that I know that I'm meeting. You might be one of those folks, right? But I'm meeting so many people and they have a dream and a vision. And listen to me, having a dream and having a vision is great. But if you have a dream and a vision and you do not have a strategy, what you have is called a problem. You got a problem because you're never going to be able to actualize and bring to fruition the thing that you see inside of your head, right? So it's one thing to have a dream and a vision, and I want you, yes, please have a dream and a vision and write it down, and we talk about all those good things, but the next phase to that is having a strategy to bring that vision to pass. Let me ask you a question right now. Do you have a strategy that's going to help you to bring your vision to pass. If you got a strategy, in the comments box, go ahead and say, I got a strategy, I got a strategy. If you do not have a strategy to bring that vision to pass, go ahead and just say that also. Say, I don't have a strategy. Because here's the thing, what I've realized, the thing that's stopping most people isn't the dream, it isn't the vision, it's the strategy. See, we have to understand strategy is all about execution. Strategy is the execution that's going to get you, move you, and push you into the next phase of this dream, this vision that you've been given. The reality is nobody can do it like you. Everybody is literally waiting for you to bring the vision to pass, but you got to have a strategy to do that. So let me talk just for a few minutes. Let me give you 5 things, 5 problems or challenges that new entrepreneurs have. First and foremost, marketing. Marketing is an issue. Secondly, financing, specifically if you're creating a business that does need financing. We'll talk about that in just a second. Third thing is sales. Sales, right? If you don't make sales as a business, listen to me. You are not a business. You got a very, very expensive hobby, but you are not a business. You got to make sales. You got to make money. That's the whole reason that you are in business. You got to show that those sales, right? Fourth thing, strategy. We talked about that a second ago. You got to have a strategy. And then the fifth thing that new entrepreneurs have, or new entrepreneurs need, they need execution. So now, how are you going to bring that strategy to pass? So let me give them to you again. There are 5 challenges that new entrepreneurs have: marketing, finance, sales, strategy, and then execution. Those are the 5 problems. And I don't care who you are, all entrepreneurs have these challenges, right? All entrepreneurs will have to answer and address these specific questions, right? When you think about marketing, right? Marketing, and I said this, marketing is the process of creating value for a company, that's you, right? Through the creation and distribution of products and services, right? So this is about your process for creating value, right? People want to rock with you because there is a perceived value. You are watching this live stream right now. You are listening to this podcast because there is a perceived value. You believe that in exchange for your time, I'm going to give you something of value that is going to help you in your business as you move forward. And I am, right? So that is what we're talking about. So how do you market that? How do you create something of value and showcase that to other people so that they will be able to say, you know what, I like what they got going on. I like what he or she has going on. And I want to be a part of that. I want to exchange what I have for that value, right? So when we're talking about marketing, we're really talking about is how do you create value through the creation and distribution of products and services. What are the products and services that you are creating, and how are you going to share those products and services with your customer, right? What does that look like? How do you do that? How are you going to speak their language? One of the things that I will tell you, as a matter of fact, I was having a conversation with with a gentleman the other day, and we are talking about his avatar, right? And for those of you who do not know, an avatar, that's specifically your target person. My advice to you, if you don't know who you are speaking to, especially from a marketing perspective, that you create an avatar. An avatar is literally who is the person that you're speaking to. And don't make it a whole group of people. Literally get one person, right? My avatar, his name is Carl. That's who my avatar is. I know about my avatar. My avatar is 38 years old. My avatar has been working on his job now for 17 years. My avatar has worked from the bottom and trying to get to the top. My avatar has 3 kids right now. My avatar commutes 1 hour to work every single day. Coming home is about an hour and a half, right? My avatar just purchased a house. He and his wife just purchased a house 3 years ago. It's their first house. They had been living in apartment dwelling before then, but now they purchased their first home and their first house, and he's trying to do everything he can. Number 1, to make sure he pays for that mortgage. Number 2, to make sure his family, his wife and his children are taken care of, right? And because of that, his dream, the thing that he wants to do, is kind of put on the shelf and on the back burner. So when I speak, like even today, when I'm speaking I'm speaking specifically to my avatar, Carl, in hopes that I can give Carl value so that Carl can, do the things that he needs to do. Maybe actually, step out and do the dream and become the solution that his customers love. So again, when I'm speaking about avatar, I'm speaking about someone extremely specific, and you be as specific as you can. If I showed you my layout for Carl's layout is probably 5-6 pages long. That's the information that I know about Carl. But what that tells me is that when I'm marketing, I know that I'm going to reach Carl. I know that I'm going to be speaking specifically to Carl, and that's what this thing is about, right? So how are you marketing to your target audience, to your primary person that you're speaking to? How are you marketing towards them, and how can you make sure that you are exchanging value, right, and giving them value? Financing was the second thing. And when we speak about financing, some of you, you're trying to create a business. And when we speak about financing, we're talking about the process of providing money for your business to start, right? So if you're growing, I don't know, maybe you're in trucking and you need to go out and get a new truck, right? So that's going to cost you $100,000, right? So you need to do that. If you have a brick and mortar space, maybe you need to buy the actual location or lease the location and all of the things that come in. And there are going to be startup costs associated with that. How are you going to finance the business to get it up and running? Do you need business credit? Are you going to leverage your business or your personal credit to do that? Shameless plug. I will be at Food and Finance on Sunday, September 18th at Jackson Park with my guy, Darnell Jackson. Shameless plug. If financing is one of your challenges or issues, I would highly, highly recommend that you check out Food and Finance with my guy, Darnell Jackson, because they're going to be talking about that. They're going to be talking about how do you leverage your business credit? How do you leverage your personal credit? Doing those things so that you can use what's called OPM, not OPP. But OPM is other people's money, right? So how do you use other people's money to finance and leverage your resources to be able to build your business? So again, we're talking about marketing. How are you marketing and who are you marketing to? We're talking financing. How are you financing the business, right? What does that look like? The third thing is sales. The third thing is sales. And when we talk about sales, we say sales is a process of exchanging a product or a service for money. Money, ends, dividends, greenbacks, right? Money. How do you exchange your product for money? That is called a sale. And if you do a sale, your business will get money in exchange for the value that you are giving to your customer. What does that look like? I'm going to say this. Sales, we're going to actually have a whole session just on sales, right? But sales is an interesting thing because there are so many people who have an issue with sales, right? They don't want to sell, right? They don't want to feel salesy. And here's what I tell people all the time. If you can get to the point to where you're exchanging value, you'll never have to sell a day in your life. Let me go a step further, right? Sales, you do it every single day. Matter of fact, you were selling today and you may not have even recognized that you were selling, right? Every decision that you make is a sales opportunity, from putting the clothes on, the clothes that you wear, how you did your hair today, or, for me, I don't have too many options, right? So all of those things are sales opportunities, right? So when you understand that selling is not the sleazy thing that you think about, selling is simply, how am I going to exchange value for value? Right? Because this is what I realized. If I can share with you some things that are going to help you to do the thing that you need to do, it's not a hard sell. It's really not. In fact, I'm going to be ready to give you whatever it is that you need for that to happen. Right? That's how you know you're selling, quote unquote, really, really well, when you don't. It's not forced. You're literally just providing the thing that people need. I'll say this all the time. I know for me, right? I know for me, my goal is not to sell anybody anything. My goal is to provide the solution to the problem that they have. You gotta follow me now, right? The goal is not to sell anything. The goal is to provide a solution to the problems and the challenges that people have. And if you can provide a solution to the problem, you don't have to sell. You just have to be the solution for people, right? I was giving this example, right? If you have a toothache, right, the dentist does not have to sell you on coming in to see the dentist. No, you're willing to do whatever you have to do to go see that dentist, to lay down on that little, that little reclining chair. You're going to do whatever you have to do because the dentist has the solution that you're looking for. And that in and of itself is a beautiful thing. You don't have to sell that. That dentist doesn't have, like, you don't go into the dentist and be like, hey man, how much is this going to cost? You don't even ask that question. All you do is you sit in that chair and you let that dentist do whatever he needs to do to alleviate the pain. And that's how it works, right? When you talk about sales is all about being able to provide value to people. And when they perceive it as value, you don't have to sell a day in your life. I'm trying to help people to not have to sell a day in their life. And hopefully you can catch that, right? So we talked a little bit about marketing, right? Because these are the top 5 problems that entrepreneurs have. We talked about marketing. We talked about financing. We talked a little bit about sales. Number 4, strategy. Strategy is the plan of action that outlines how your company is going to achieve its goals. So there are a couple of things even in what I just said that you need to pick up on, right? So first of all, plan of action. Do you have a plan of action that's going to take you from where you are to where you know that you need to be, right? So there's a plan of action. The second thing in there, it speaks about goals. So if you don't have a goal, right, then why are you even in business? And I know that may be a harsh question for some of you, but if you don't have goals for your business, why are you even in business? If you don't know what you're trying to do or where you're trying to go, literally, that's like just getting in your car and joyriding. All you're doing is wasting gas. You don't want to waste gas. You want to know and be very intentional about where you are going. And depending upon where you are going, that's going to require a specific strategy and or plan to get you there. So what is the strategy that you're using? And then the 5th thing is execution, right? Execution is simply the process of putting a plan into action. It's the process of putting the plan into action. What are you going to do to put the plan into action? So listen, so before we jump off here today, I'm just going to give you a couple things. I'm going to give you a couple things to help you put that plan into action. Number one. If you haven't already done so, please go research your industry and your competition. Research your industry and your competition. What is it about your business that makes you special, right? I would say it this way. What is your unique selling proposition? What is your unique value proposition? What is that specific thing, right? So if you are going to make sure that you're going to be successful in this thing, you got to understand that you got to research your industry and your competition, and then look in the mirror and ask yourself the question, what is my unique value proposition, right? Or my unique selling proposition? What is the thing about you that makes you different from everybody else, right? So when I stop and I look at myself, the thing that makes me different, number one, I've been doing this for 20 years, right? That's a difference maker. Number 2, I'm in the people business, and at the end of the day, I kind of just want to see people win, right? Those are 2 differentiators just specifically for me. I know there are a lot of entrepreneurs, but there are not a whole lot of entrepreneurs who have been in this field, in this business for 20 years, right? So again, be able to pull out those small little nuances about you and your business that make you different from everybody else. So the first one, research your industry and your competition. Number 2, you have to have a clear vision and mission for your business, right? We talked about it earlier. You have to have a clear vision and mission for your business. If you don't have a vision and a mission, I promise you, all you're doing is going in circles. They wrote a song about that, right? You got me going in circles, all around round and around. And anyways, you follow what I'm saying, right? So you got to have a clear vision. You have to have a mission. You got to know where you're going. Number three, you have to set measurable goals and objectives, right? When we speak about goals, goals have to be smart. They have to be specific, they have to be measurable, they have to be attainable, they have to be realistic, and they have to be time phased or time bound, right? So specific. Instead of saying, I'm gonna start a business, you need to say specifically what type of business that you're trying to start. Instead of saying, I want to make a sale, you need to say specifically how many sales, what's the end in mind here, right? Get specific. Right? Is it measurable? It shouldn't just be any old thing, right? You need to be specific. I want to sell my first $100 sale in the next week, right? That is measurable. It's $100 and it's in the next week, right? So you want to be measurable. Is it attainable? You got to ask yourself that question. Is that something that's attainable, right? Can you do it? Is it a realistic goal, right? If you said, hey, listen, I'm a brand new entrepreneur and I'm going to I'm gonna make $1 million tomorrow. That might not be realistic. Okay. Now, for some people, it might be. And if it's realistic for you, that's great. But if it's not, you know it's not realistic for you, right? Right. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and then the time, right? I'm going to do this within 1 week. You have to have those goals, and they have to be specific and measurable for you to see success, right? The fourth thing, this strategy, it has to have a roadmap. So if you're here, what are the specific steps? It's just like driving anywhere, right? So if I'm driving from Georgia to Kentucky, there are certain mile markers and certain stops along the way. What is that strategy? What is that roadmap for you in your business? Number 5, you have to have your plan of action, right? So now you know your mile markers. Get very granular. Get granular with those road markers. What are they? So that you can have the detailed plan of action. And then finally, the last thing, how are you going to implement and track your progress regularly, right? Meaning, how are you going to be able to look and see where you are on the map? Again, if I'm driving to Kentucky, I got to have a way to say, you know what? I'm in Chattanooga right now. You know what? I'm in Nashville right now. You know what? I'm right outside of Bowling Green right now. You know what? You fill in the blank, right? But you have to know where you are in being able to track your progress regularly. If you do that, it will help you, Mr., Mrs. New Entrepreneur, to be successful. So let me just give it to you one more time as a recap. 5 problems that new entrepreneurs are having. They're having issues with marketing. They're having issues with financing. They're having issues with strategy, with execution, right? In sales. Those are the 5 things that they're having problems with. And then specifically, how can you alleviate those problems? Well, you got to research your industry and your competition. You got to create a clear vision and mission for your business. You have to set up measurable goals and objectives. You have to be able to develop a strategy roadmap. You have to have a detailed plan of action. And then you have to be able to implement some sort of tracking guide to track your progress daily. If you do those things, listen to me, y'all. If you do those things, I promise you, this business thing, it will not be hard, and you will be successful in everything that you do. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm just keeping it very real. If you are having trouble in any of these things right here, do me a quick favor. Inside of the comments here in just a second, you will see a link to my bio. I'm giving out free strategy sessions to help you to develop your strategy and do these things that we're speaking about. It's absolutely free for you, okay? So it's a free 45-minute. We'll sit down, we'll talk about where you are, where you want to go, and help you create that strategy, including all of these places. Now, it's free. If you want to figure out how I can help you execute that, we'll talk about what that looks like, and we can have some conversation. If you already got it and you know how to execute, cool, no problem. We don't, hey, you take that thing and you do it for free. But all I'm saying is this, don't not take this opportunity. Because I promise you, I'm not doing this that often, right? I'm not doing it that often. But in honor of the Runway kicking off, I want to give out some free strategy sessions. So if that is you, if you need a strategy session, please holla at your boy. Click the link in the bio. Click the link inside of the comments here, and let's go ahead and get this thing set up. 45 minutes can change your life. I'm gonna say it again. 45 minutes can change your life and the trajectory of your business. If that's you, let's go ahead and do it now. Get it scheduled before all of the time blocks are filled. So, with that being said, that's all I got for you today, man. Less than 30 minutes. We came in, we knocked it out. This is the runway, y'all. This is where you will literally be able to take off and land in your purpose. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we'll be back again on the runway. It's your guy, Phillip, man. We'll holla. Peace.